A deadly virus, a cruise ship, 3 people dead, and a world that just lived through COVID, suddenly holding its breath again. Right now, as you watch this, a Dutch cruise ship called the MV Hondius is stranded at sea. 3 passengers are dead, 8 confirmed infected. Passengers from at least 12 countries have already scattered across the globe. And the CDC has done something it rarely does. It activated its 24/7 emergency response center to monitor the situation. The virus causing all of this? Hantavirus, something most people dismissed as a rare, obscure disease you catch in a bar. Not on a luxury cruise ship. Not in 2026. Not again. Not after everything we just survived. But here is what nobody is saying out loud yet. This is not COVID. In some ways, it is far worse. Now pay attention, because what happened on that ship and what this virus does inside the human body is something every person on this planet needs to understand right now. On the 2nd of May 2026, the World Health Organization received an emergency notification. A cluster of passengers on a cruise ship had developed severe respiratory illness. 7 cases identified, 3 dead, 1 critically ill. The ship was carrying 147 passengers and crew. The ship had departed from Ushuaia, Argentina, the southernmost city in the world, on the 1st of April. The first passenger died on board on the 11th of April, but his body wasn't removed until 13 days later. And it wasn't until the 2nd of May that hantavirus was even confirmed. That is a 21-day gap, 3 weeks, during which passengers were socializing, eating together, breathing the same air. And then 30 passengers disembarked at the remote island of St. Helena before anyone even knew what they were dealing with. Here's the problem. This isn't the ordinary hantavirus. The specific strain confirmed on the MV Hondius is the Andes virus, and experts know dangerously little about how it transmits between people. Every other strain of hantavirus spreads only from rodents to humans. The Andes virus is the only one in the world confirmed to spread from human to human. And spread on board the Hondius has been at least partially attributed to human transmission. In a previous outbreak in Argentina, one single introduction of the virus led to 34 infections. Now compare that to COVID-19. COVID spread easily, but its death rate hovered between 1% and 2% globally. Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, the lung-destroying condition this virus causes, carries a case fatality rate of up to 50% in the Americas. Flip a coin. That is your survival odds once the lungs start filling with fluid. But this is where it gets truly alarming. There is no approved antiviral treatment, no vaccine. Management is entirely supportive, meaning doctors keep you alive and hope your body wins the fight on its own. COVID at least had vaccines within a year, treatments within 2. Hantavirus has been killing people for decades, and medicine still has no direct weapon against it. And the global response? In 2025, the Trump administration eliminated funding for the research group that had been studying exactly this type of hantavirus, designed to understand how it jumps from rodents to humans. All 10 research centers were shut down after NIH called the work unsafe. The very knowledge that could have helped us understand this outbreak gone. 1 year before it arrived on a ship. WHO's director of epidemic preparedness said it plainly. This is not the next COVID, but it is a serious infectious disease. The difference is scale. COVID could infect anyone, anywhere through casual contact. Hantavirus still requires closer exposure. But on a cruise ship, shared cabins, shared dining halls, recycled air, that distinction shrinks fast. Passengers from the MV Hondius are now being monitored across 6 U.S. states: California, Arizona, Texas, New Jersey, Georgia, and Virginia, along with contacts in over a dozen countries. Every one of them is a potential thread in a web that nobody has fully mapped yet. So what do you do with this information? If you or anyone you know develops fever, deep muscle aches, and shortness of breath, especially after recent travel to South America or contact with anyone who has, do not wait. Do not assume it is the flu. Get to a hospital and say the word hantavirus out loud. Early supportive care is the only thing that improves survival odds. Here is what I want to leave you with. COVID taught us that the world can change overnight, that a virus nobody was watching can bring every nation to its knees. Hantavirus is not COVID, but the MV Hondius is a warning, a reminder that nature doesn't wait for us to be ready. The question is, are we paying attention this time?